Hey you guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about how to create a plan for your content creation so you can show up to your audience stress-free, consistently, and we're gonna make your life so much easier because look, we all know content creating can be one of those things where you're going strong one week and then you fall off the bandwagon for about 2 weeks, then you show up again, and we're just not doing that this year, okay? So in today's video, we're gonna talk about how to find the right ideas, how to organize those ideas, and how to execute those ideas so you can make your life much easier, work smarter and not harder. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's talk about finding ideas first. Listen, when it comes time to find ideas to create content around, it can be so overwhelming because we all have so much we want to say, and sometimes we can't flood everyone on one day, but then other days we have no clue what we want to say, and it becomes a little tricky. So my biggest tip is to go through your platform, whether that's Instagram, your blog, your YouTube channel, and really look at the analytics. I will go through, look at your insights, your analytics. What has performed the best? What have people resonated with the most? And create more of that. So if you've been posting videos, blogs, or Instagram posts that are full of tips and full of helpful, inspiring quotes, or maybe you're posting behind the scenes and that has been resonating really well with your audience, I highly recommend just keep making more of those. You may feel, well, I've already done that, but you're getting new followers every day, you're getting new audience every day, so it's really important to keep showing up with that information. There is a concept called repurposing, and this is huge when it comes to digital marketing. If you are creating content that is always saying the same thing, if you can space that over time, it's okay. No one's gonna be like, ew, she or he keeps repeating themselves. No, they're gonna look at your post and say, I know this person because they say this. So what this is called is creating pillars. So let's say you create 3 to 5 pillars, okay? So for me, a pillar for me would be photography, personal branding, and digital marketing tips. So maybe every day I would show up in my calendar and create, this day I am going to talk about a personal branding tip for clients. This day I'm going to talk about photography tips for my audience that follows me to learn about photography. And maybe the next day I'm posting to talk about a behind the scenes, whatever else I want to talk about. But it is so important to sit down and write down 3 to 5 topics that you know you can rotate throughout the month or throughout the week. That way you're showing up consistently, your audience is starting to get to know you on a better level. So when you show up, they're like, oh yes, I know this person. Or if they start telling their friends, you should follow so-and-so because they always show up and talk about blank. It works, y'all, I'm telling you. One thing that I highly suggest and recommend when you don't know what to talk about in your niche is to go on Pinterest. Pinterest is amazing. You can literally type in any category, and I would recommend looking at the top trending posts and see what that content creator is talking about in your field. Now, if what they're talking about is something that you're like, yes, all of this, yes, I recommend taking what they have said, letting it digest in yourself, and then putting your own spin onto that topic. Now, you're not copying these people, please don't, but what you can do is take the information and put a fresh perspective on it for your audience. The biggest thing with content creation that I find to be massive is providing knowledge, providing information, providing help. And so when you're able to go online and see what's ranking, what's doing really well for people, why not take that information and repurpose it in a way that has your fresh signature stamp on it? Your audience is learning something new from you because, let's be honest, there's a lot of information in the world, but not everyone is getting it from the same person. So if your audience is following you, they would love to hear it from you. So take this opportunity, write down a couple of lists of things that you have found on Pinterest. You can even use YouTube for an example to see what are people talking about this. So a great idea, let's say you are a photographer like I am, and let's say you want to start offering great photography tips for your audience. I would go on Pinterest or YouTube and type in photography tips or how to blank. And then I would look at the top ranking stuff and see what they're saying and pull from that and then mirror it and marry it to what I have experienced in my own personal journey making content. Now, for my third piece of advice when it comes to finding content ideas is ask your audience. Now, I will say, disclaimer, this is not always the most effective way because your audience, they might say stuff that you're like, no, we're not talking about that, or that's actually not good. Or they might just have things that maybe don't fit into your content pillars that you created before. Remember, we talked about that. So it's really important to do this step last, but to start with searching for Pinterest and creating the content pillars and seeing how can I repurpose what I've already talked about so it sticks in someone's head. We're going to talk about how to plan and organize your content pillars. Now, for me, I personally use Google Sheets to create my own content pillar and Google Calendar. But some people love to use a physical calendar or maybe something that they can put in their home or in their office to look at and actually write out. But for me, I would love to show you guys a little behind the scenes of what my content pillar looks like and how I plan. Awesome, guys. Well, I did say that I was going to show you a behind the scenes as far as looking at my content pillar, my content calendar, and all that good stuff. So we are here. I am going to show you what we got. So I use Google Sheets to do my content. Some people prefer to use a real calendar, maybe one that can hang on the wall, but I love digital. While it's here, I will take full advantage of it. So we're looking at July. Over here, you can see my key content pillars that we talked about previously. I always want to post something that's going to inspire somebody at least a few times a month, whether it's my journey, maybe it's the journey of people that I've been working with, whatever inspires me or what I've been through, I want to share that a few times a month. Personal branding photo tips. Those are two things that I always like to include when I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about this month. Yes, you do, honey. Those two things. I try to talk about me, like myself, which I hate, but more in an introductory kind of way. So I know after a while I'm going to get new followers. So I always like to reintroduce myself and say what I do. And if you follow my page or if you follow my content, this is what you're going to get from me. I like to offer marketing tips. And you see that I color code these on purpose. So I'm color coordinating these things so my calendar is cute, okay? So as you can see, I try to do one blog a month on my website. I'm not really a writer, but I like to have additional content out there. I don't like to just rely on social media. So I know that I can only be consistent once a month, so we're only going to write once a month. As you can see, I have IG next to the personal branding, inspiration, the about me. Also, we've got the marketing tips. If you have anything that you want to promote, whether it's a product like an ebook, or maybe you have a course, or maybe you have just a YouTube channel, maybe you have stuff that you want to promote to people, I highly recommend doing that once a week, if not every other day, because people forget and you have to let them know. So I have presets. I'm going to promote that. And I have a Facebook group now for like-minded female entrepreneurs that I will be promoting weekly now, because I want to be able to get as many people in this group so we can have a tribe of powerful people who are going to learn and contribute to each other. And then I have YouTube on here. I'm trying to create 2 videos a month. This will increase, but my life is crazy at the moment, but that's the goal. And this is my accountability calendar. So if it's something that I don't think I can attain, I can look back at the month and see, did I do that? Did I do that? If I didn't, we're going to do better next month, okay? So this is my color coordinated calendar. At the bottom, you can see in the next tab, I actually have the copy for my content for Instagram. Now, I like to write all of this out within like one night or 2 nights if I can. I will go through my content pillars. From there, I will go through and look at my photos that I maybe keep on my Drive or Google Drive, and I'll see, oh, I love this photo. Maybe I can talk about this or an experience that I had on a shoot, or maybe talk about my journey coming up as a photographer, something that I saw that inspired me, and writing it out and putting on the right side, like what the image is going to be, really helps me to write the content. If you can just start on this as you go, you'll be able to add to it. So don't stress out if you can't do it all in one day. I get it. But what I really love about this content copy, even though it's for Instagram, I can go back and see how I can go deeper into it, maybe when I want to post something similar in the next week. So if I'm talking about a old success story, awesome. I'm going to go in there and maybe see how I can pivot and use that and repurpose it. The third tab that I have are blog and YouTube video ideas. So for this, I love to do some research, whether it's through Pinterest, and see what content is being talked about. My dog is on the floor right now, so excited. And I highly recommend going back and looking at my How to Leverage the Power of SEO video. I will link it below. But basically, you can type in anything on here, and it's a free platform, by the way, and you can see if it's going to be easy to create content around it, if it's going to be hard, stay away from the hard, and see what people are searching for, what they're looking for, and how you can provide the answer. I mean, there's a lot of answers out there, but if you can put your fresh take on it, girl, you good. So this is how I create my content throughout the month, and I hope it helped you. That is my content pillars. That is how I plan and organize my content so I can try to show up consistently for my audience and answer questions. Let people get to know me, because listen, when you're able to create an experience for people online and you're able to create a culture for people online with you as the face, with your personal brand standing out, trust me, it will get you closer to being able to monetize whatever you want to do in this life. Seriously, you could create products, you could create a business, whatever it is. If you can show up consistently and create your own personal experience for your audience, you are golden. All right, guys, let's talk about how to execute all this amazing content that we just wrote out. So, number one, you already know, I'm gonna talk about personal branding photos. If you can't get a professional photographer to take these pictures for you, that is fine. I still believe you should show up. A lot of people, especially photographers like me, make the mistake of hiding behind their work. Now, people who are not just photographers do this. Anybody who has their own business or brand or whatever they're trying to promote, they love to hide behind what they're talking about. And this is a huge mistake. When I started changing my feed and changing the content I put out and started showing up on camera, showing up on Instagram Lives, showing up on Instagram Stories, showing my face on my blog, all these different things really opened up more and more doors. When you're able to show your face, show the person, the brand becomes a little bit more personal. Now, I know some people will try to make the argue that, you know, my business shouldn't be personal and personal stuff shouldn't be business, but y'all, it's 2020. The year has been insane. So what we have learned is anything can go, okay? And I have found that if you want to be business minded, you can also include your personal, because never before have people wanted to invest in businesses and brands that they can visually identify with, but also feel some kind of connection. So if you're trying to hide behind some product or service, nobody's connecting with a product or service. They're connecting with the culture and they're connecting with a face. And lastly, one great tip when it comes to executing all your content is maybe using some planning system. There are great planning systems like Planoly, Later, different apps like that. I will definitely link below so you can check it out and see what you can use to make your life better when it comes to planning, so you're not always stressed out or not knowing what to post or not knowing when to post. Let's make life easier, guys. Overall, when we plan out our content, it makes life so great. I'm preaching to the choir. We're all trying to get this thing together, but when we're able to plan, that way we don't just pop up randomly a few times a month and say, hey guys, I'm selling this, or hey guys, read my blog. We are consistently showing up to when people are like, yes, I will drink whatever Kool-Aid she's passing me, or yes, I will drink whatever Kool-Aid he's passing me. We want to create an experience so people are always down to ride with us, okay? So when it comes to creating content, let's plan it out. Let's make sure that we treat this thing like it's a job, because I promise you, if you can get the content creation down, the personal branding down, all these pieces tight, you will be able to monetize whatever you're trying to do, create an amazing audience who are ready to promote and purchase from you, and your life will be so much easier, guys. I promise you that. Well, guys, that is all I've got. Thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to like it and give this channel a subscribe for more marketing tips, more photography tips. We're getting our whole brand in check on this channel, okay? So thank you so much for watching, and be sure to share this with someone that you think could use it. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.